Let's start with the proceedings. Hello, everyone. A very good evening. So thank you for joining us in today's webinar. Let me introduce myself. I am Vaishnavi Thakur, a master's student in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Information Systems from University of Tokyo. So today I'm joined by Ms. Khushi Javeri as a sub-facilitator. In today's webinar, we'll be covering about study and work life in Japan. So the University of Tokyo India office is organizing these sessions where experts from different universities come together and provide guidance on various programs that are being offered in them. So Japan has the third largest economy in the world with a huge demand for the skilled professionals, and not forgetting the fact that it has the highest employment rate. But still we see that many students choose Western countries over Japan. This is mainly because of the fact that because they're not aware of the wonderful opportunities Japan has got to offer. So these webinars aim to bridge that gap and provide you students with all the details. So we also have a team of panelists and universities to answer your queries. So if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A portal. I repeat, please post your questions only in the Q&A portal and not in the chat box, because chat box is meant for the universities to share their details. So without any further ado, let's start today's webinar. Let me share the agenda slide. So today we have the introduction by Ms. Sakshi, who is a program assistant from the University of Tokyo India office, which is followed by a presentation by Ms. Khushi, a student from the Kyoto University. After that, we have presentations by these three universities, and which is followed by the presentation from Japan Science and Technology Agency. So I would like to invite now Ms. Sakshi, the program assistant of University of Tokyo India office, to give a presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Khushi, for the introduction. Let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Vaishnavi-san.
Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo India office and brought to you by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in Japan. So thank you for joining us today for another exciting webinar about study and work in Japan, session 37. We are very happy to have you all aboard here, and we are going to start out with a brief introduction about Study and Work in Japan project. So we are the part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEX, and our aim is to promote studying in Japan on behalf of all Japanese universities through collaboration and networking between overseas regional offices. And we provide comprehensive information on Japanese universities. We organize education fairs and seminars throughout India to spread awareness about higher education opportunities in Japan. So about the webinar, today we are conducting session 37, Study and Work in Japan webinar series. And all these webinars is basically designed to introduce you to some of the best Japanese universities. And we will be discussing the various program offerings and opportunities to study and work in Japan in our online session. So there will be 3 different Japanese universities representing in each session: national, public, and private universities. And all the universities will be discussing about English-based programs that are offered by them. So you do not need to worry about your Japanese language proficiency. There has been approximately 700 plus universities as well as specialized vocational institutions in Japan. Studying in Japan means you'll further your studies in a well-rounded education system. You'll experience a unique new culture, and you'll have the chance to gain more international perspective. So no doubt you learn from the very best in the world and work in some of the most modern labs with great facilities. You can also learn Japanese easily if you live in Japan, and some of the universities have preparatory Japanese language courses for international students who are already enrolled in their programs. All right, now I request all our attendees to please scan this QR code to register for our upcoming webinars. It's really great opportunity for all of you to participate in our webinars, and you can directly ask your queries to representatives of each university. However, I know 20 minutes presentation is very short time to understand about the university, but I would like to recommend you all to please note down the contact addresses of each university so that in case you have further doubts, please feel free to ask them directly later on by writing them. And today, let me inform all of our attendees that we are going to have two special webinars this month, Konnichiwa Pune and Northeast India towards higher study in Japan. So please register if you're interested to join these special webinars, and please feel free to pass this information as much as you can. And this is the email address of our office. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We will be very happy to assist you. Thank you very much for listening to me. I request all of you to please stay tuned with us till the end of the session. And please don't forget to register and join us for our next exciting session on next Friday. I ensure that this webinar will be profitable and the next few hours will be fruitful for every one of you. Thank you very much for paying attention. Please enjoy today's session.
Thank you, Sakshi-san. It's when I was joining the university, I was not aware of all the universities or the scholarships. I'm sure this forum provides a wonderful opportunity for students to get to know about all universities. Let me share my agenda slide again. So next we have a presentation by Ms. Khushi, who is a student of Keio University, to give a brief overview of study and work life in Japan, along with her student experience here.
Thank you, Ms. Vaishnavi, for the introduction. I will share my screen. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. So a very good evening to all the panelists and attendees. I'm Khushi Javeri from Keio University, and today I'll be talking about the study and work life in Japan. So I'll start by giving a brief introduction about myself. I was raised in Tokyo, and I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's degree in environmental engineering and computer science at Keio University. I'm a member of the India-Japan Laboratory, the GIS Laboratory, and the SDPE Laboratory at Keio University. I'm also a recipient of the Keio University Scholarship, and I have interned at Hitachi and Tsukuba University. So why should you choose Japan as your destination to pursue further studies? Firstly, Japan is the third largest economy in the world, with a population of 126 million and 47 prefectures. It is a member of the G7 summit with other developed countries, including US, UK, Canada, and Germany. Japan ranks 9th in the Global Peace Index and has topped the Safe Cities Index for the third consecutive time. There are a range of international cuisines such as Italian, Indian, and Japanese available to students coming from the overseas. Recently, culturally appropriate food, including halal, vegetarian, and vegan options, are also available. Health policies have proved to be very beneficial to international students, as 70% of the costs are paid by the government. Some of the other advantages include job prospects, affordable tuition fee, and scholarships, which will be explained later in the presentation. So Japanese universities are categorized into national, that are founded by the Japanese government, public, that are led by local public entities, and private, that are based on founders. Japanese universities provide student services and facilities to strengthen the personal and professional growth of students. Some of these services include libraries, research labs, student lounge, gymnasiums, and dormitories, as you can see on the right-hand side. There are several universities in Japan that offer English programs at undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral levels. In Japan, undergraduate programs are for 4 years, graduate for 1 or 2 depending on the program you're applying for, and doctoral for 3 to 4 years. The English programs in Japan are well renowned as they provide a range of degrees at an affordable price in comparison to other countries like Canada and the US. So the fee structure is undoubtedly an important aspect while applying to universities, so I will elaborate a little on this aspect. I believe Japan is one of the most affordable countries to pursue further studies, as the tuition fee for international students and domestic students is the same, which is very rare. As you can infer from the chart, the tuition fee of public universities in the US is 5 times higher than the ones in Japan, while the private universities in the US is 3 times more expensive. The living expenses are similar, but Japan is cheaper than the US in terms of overall education. Financial assistance is also provided by universities or the Japanese government in the form of internal and external scholarships. The Mixed Scholarship and the JASO Scholarship are well known amongst international students. I've also listed a couple of documents here, as you can see, that most of the universities ask for when you apply to their English undergraduate programs. For more details, I recommend you check the application guidelines of the program you wish to enroll in. And in order to apply for the master's or the PhD courses, it is crucial for the applicant to contact the supervisor of the program for admission assistance. So now I would like to elaborate on the job prospects in Japan. So the job opportunities in Japan are countless, and several benefits also come along once you work for a company here. Graduates from Japanese universities usually tend to work for multinational companies such as Amazon, Google, and Toyota. Graduates, especially with a computer background, have a great scope in Japan. The average salary after graduation is minimum 2.5 million yen per year, which is 17 lakh rupees. Japan also has the lowest unemployment rate, which is 2.34%. Visa procurement is not a very tedious process, and the student visa can be upgraded to working visa if the student is able to find a job within Japan. So now, as you can see in this chart, the number of dispositions for employment purposes from international students has been escalating over the years. 2019 witnessed double the capacity of international students than in 2017. There's a 50% increase in the number of international students and professors coming from the overseas. This increase is primarily because of the wide job prospects and internship opportunities in Japan. Another very interesting and distinct feature is the opportunity to experience various seasons. Compared to other countries, Japan does not experience harsh climates. One can enjoy different seasons in the country, for example, cherry blossoms in spring, snow in winter, and the foliage in autumn. The diverse weather conditions give students the chance to experience different seasons and travel across the country at any time of the year. Lastly, I will talk a little about my student life in Japan. I can certainly say that my university has opened doors to several opportunities and experiences. I have been able to engage in various activities and have also interacted with students of diverse backgrounds. The picture on the right is from an event called the Soukei-sen, which is a term used for the baseball rivalry between two prestigious universities, that are Keio University and Waseda University. The picture on the upper right is from the hackathon that was held last year in collaboration with IIT and NIT. In the India-Japan laboratory, we conduct social and cultural events so that students from both countries are given the chance to communicate and collaborate. And in the GIS laboratory, we aim to approach different challenges of the environment using computer-based tools. So to sum up, I highly recommend students to consider studying in Japan, as it will certainly be a fruitful experience without having to spend a lot on education. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope I've been able to give students and parents an insight into the study and work life in Japan. And I look forward to meeting some of you very soon here. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kushi-san, for the wonderful presentation and also for providing an overall picture of what a student life looks like in Japan. Also, the Waseda and the Keio University baseball tournament is quite popular here. So when you attended it, who won the tournament?
Actually, I think it was a draw. I'm not sure, but in my head, K was always winning. So
okay, yeah, thank you.
K won.
Thank you. Thank you once again. So let's move on with the webinar. Let me share my agenda slide. So next, we have the university presentation. So the first university we have for today is the University of Kitakyosho. It's a public university located in the Kitakyosho, Japan. The university is known for its extensive overseas study program with partnerships in the US, UK, Australia, China, and South Korea. The study abroad program was initiated in 2008, and another interesting aspect of this university is it works very closely with the local community and is committed to using its education and research to solve regional and global problems. So the more information about this university is presented by Mr. Masaki Nagahara, who is a professor at the university. Over to you, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was sharing my slides now. Oh, sorry, please wait. Okay, do you see my slide?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I'm Masaki Nagahara of the University of Kitakyosho. So I will explain about my university today. Okay, so first of all, I will show where my city is. So here is India, as you see, and this is Kyushu Island, the big island in Japan, and my university is located here. Okay, and my university name is the University of Kitakyosho. And Kitakyosho means north of Kyushu Island. So Kita means north, and Kyushu is this the name of this island. So here is my university, my town. And again, my name is Masaki Nagahara, a professor of this university. And my major topics are control theory, machine learning, and signal processing. And I'm also a visiting professor at IIT Bombay and IIT Guwahati. And actually, I visited IIT Bombay 2 years ago, and I've been there for 8 months, and I gave a lecture at IIT Bombay, showing the middle figure, and also I'm collaborating with many researchers all over the world, including the Professor Vidyasagar in IIT Hyderabad. And Professor Vidyasagar is one of the most famous researchers in India. And I've been collaborating with him for more than 10 years. And I also visited IIT Hyderabad to visit his office, and this is in his house. So I love Indian culture and cuisine also very much. And when I visited India, every day I enjoyed Indian food. So anyway, I will introduce my researches more precisely. And I'm working in Graduate School of Environmental Engineering, and I'm teaching in the Computer Science course of the program of Information Engineering. And in this program of Information Engineering, as a master course student or a PhD course student, you can study, for example, machine learning and artificial intelligence, signal and image processing, communication systems, including the next generation wireless communications, and control engineering and robotics, and VLSI systems and software engineering, and so on. So you can study many subjects in this course. Okay, so this is the link to the web page of my university. So you can get more information from this web page. For example, our university is located in Hibikino, and this picture is taken by drone. And here is my university, and next to my university, there are several universities like Kyushu Institute of Technology and Waseda University. So we are collaborating with researchers and students in this research park called Hibikino. And there is student very decent student hostels like this. And this is one hostel, and this is another hostel in Hibikino town. And you can enjoy your student life in this campus. So there are some pictures of my pictures taken in this city, Kitakyosho. And actually, my friends from India visited many times to my city, and here this the left upper sign is the beach, or the sea beach of Kitakyosho, and we enjoyed Japanese food in this old restaurant in Kitakyosho. And the right hand side you can see Kokura Castle, very old Japanese castle. So you can enjoy all the cultures and the very beautiful natures in my city. Okay, so today instead of showcasing many researches in my department, but I explain my own research. So if you are interested, please contact me. Okay, so my first topic is automatic control, and in particular, I'm actively researching control theory, which is a mathematical theory of control, and this includes optimal control, which is an optimization with differential equations, and the systems theory, which solves controllability, observability, and the stability of a system using applied mathematics. And also, I'm working practical applications like drones, control of drones, and the personal mobility, robots, and also very recently I'm researching super smart society in my town, which is a social experiments. Okay, this is a video of drone control experiments, and the drone has a camera at the bottom of this drone, and the camera, by using this camera, the drone detects the objects on the floor, and the drone finds one object on the floor, and it's landing one of the objects like this. Okay, and the drone is assumed to gather some information at this point, and again this is taking off, and again the drone searching another object by using image recognition technique. Okay, and the drone computing the image, and this drone detect the three objects as shown in the projected screen, and the drone again landing another object like this. Okay, so this was very successful, and actually this is very interesting research, because we used machine learning technique or the deep learning technique to detect the object by using the image. And also we control the drone by using by using the results of machine learning system. This is a very nice experiment. And this experiment was done by students, university students, not me, but by students. So this is very interesting. And also we did automatic control of mobility, personal mobility for wheelchair. And as you can see, this chair detects the line, red line, using image recognition and track the line like this. So this is a very basic experiment of autonomous vehicle, but this is also use image recognition, AI technique, and also the control technology. So this is the combination of control and machine learning. Okay, so and of course I'm very interested in machine learning for data science. Okay, for example, sparse modeling from small data, not big data, but small data. This is much more difficult than big data analysis. And also deep learning, image recognition, and the system identification. And the system identification is machine learning for dynamical systems like drones, vehicles, and like the rockets and so on. And I had done many types of the data analysis like medical data, social data, sport data, and COVID-19 recently. And this picture shows the estimation of electricity demand by recursive neural network. Okay, this is also very interesting. And finally, I'm showing multi-agent simulation. So you can see, I think you can watch some. There are some girls actually, and the girls move out of this classroom. Okay, again, I'm showing this simulation, and this simulation is for designing a classroom, and by using this simulation, we can check how long how long it takes to go outside from this classroom. This is used for example, at the emergency, the students need to go out quickly. So we use this simulation to analyze how efficiently the students can go out at the emergency. Okay, this is called multi-agent simulation, and this is also very interesting research topic. Okay, so now if you are interested, please send me your message to this email address, and I can answer your questions. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for the presentation and also for giving us an introduction to research going on in the university. We can look into the Q&A portal and answer a few questions. So, so are the programs in the Kitakyosho University, are these English taught programs or that in Japanese?
In graduate school, we can some courses are in English, and if there are for the foreign student, then the class is taught in English. However, for undergraduate classes, we don't offer English. The courses taught in English. So for the graduate school, we can give the English classes. Okay.
Thank you, Professor. And also, are you aware of any deadlines for the application process?
Sorry. Where is the sorry? Which is the question?
I think it is in the answered section. But like, is there what is the timeline?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what is the timeline for the application process? When does it begin? I think usually all the universities in Japan, they usually start their application process around for the September intake. It would be around you can keep checking the portal from June to August. So I think students can look into that.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I had no idea for the deadline.
No, that's no, not a problem. And also, should students get in contact with the faculty for the application process? Or should they apply for the admission?
Yes, and you can get the information by from the web page of my university. So I will share the web page address in the chat window later. So please check the address, and you can get the information on the application for the for entering university. My university. Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Yeah. And also, are you aware of any MBA, any business programs in Kitakyosho University?
Oh, yes. However, it's another department, but you can also run the subject on business. So we have a master course of business school, and you can get you can run and business classes, but in my campus, it's in another campus, which is different from my campus, and another department. So I have no information. I have very little information on the business school in my university. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you, Professor. And also, since you deal with computer science, so are you aware of cybersecurity courses?
Yes. And one professor is the specialist of cybersecurity, and you can learn cybersecurity, and also you can learn the code. Coding technique for computer security, and we have such courses in my graduate school. Yeah.
And also, I think a mixed scholarship is accepted in Kitakyosho University.
Oh yes,
right?
Yes, of course, yes.
What about the university recommended mixed scholarship? Like after getting an admission, can we apply for mixed scholarship?
After getting. I think yes, but I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but I think you can apply after.
Okay.
That. Yes.
Thank you, Professor. And there are so many questions about how to get in touch with the professors.
Okay.
So like already Professor has shared his email ID on the screen. You can if you are from the computer science department background, I think you can directly contact the professor. And also the university links are shared in the chat box. So please go through them.
Yes, please.
And let's take one last question, Professor. So is there any minimum requirement? Like, is there any like cutoff scores or any requirement for getting an admission?
Requirement for the graduate course, I think you need to graduate. You need to get bachelor degree before applying, before entering a graduate course in my university, and I think it's generally in universities in Japan.
Yes, yes. That is, it is quite clear that for graduate programs, we need to have bachelor's
Bachelor.
degree. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Viken and Kitakyosho University here. So thank you once again for sharing, for joining us today and for giving us more details about the university. Let me share my agenda screen.
Okay, okay. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. So let me share my agenda slide. So we are done with the Kitakyosho University, and now we have the University of Electro Communications. So this university is situated in the city of Chofu in the Tokyo Prefecture of Japan. It specializes in computer science, the physical sciences, engineering, and technology. In 2013, it is also selected as one of the 19 research universities by the Mixed. UEC is certainly an exciting campus with unique students and researchers where they gather around from throughout the world and are trained to be global leaders. So now I invite Professor T. Hamano from the Center of International Programs and Exchange to provide us more details about the university admission process.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, Ms. Tako. And let me share my slides. Let's see. This one, and this one. Okay. See. Okay, so hello everyone. This is the University of Electro Communications.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Professor, but your screen share is not.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why, but sorry, this one. Okay, now you can. Let's see. How about this one? Can you share? Can you see the pop? Page?
Yes, I can see the page.
Okay. So again, hello everyone. This is the University of Electro Communication, the Denki Tsushin Daigaku, or UEC or UEC Tokyo for shorten. My name is Hamano from Center for International Programs and Exchange. I'm the International Student Advisor at the UEC Tokyo. Before starting my talk, I mentioned about the website to help you learn about UEC Tokyo. Please check the chat window or take a picture of this screen. This is like this, the portal site. I hope you can see the portal site for the prospective students. Let's see. So there are two parts in this talk. The first part is I introduce the basic information on our university. And the second part is admission processes will be shown briefly. Okay, we start with the short video on UEC Tokyo.
The University of Electro Communications, UEC, offers students outstanding opportunities to pursue both practical learning and cutting-edge research. UEC is in Chofu City, part of Japan's thriving capital of Tokyo. The campus is a convenient 5-minute walk from Chofu Station. The ride from Shinjuku Station to Chofu Station is about 15 minutes. The Chofu area is an easy commute from Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ikebukuro, Akihabara, and other major downtown districts. UEC's innovative education system has students learn a broad range of information science and technology basics. Then move into specialized fields in which they possess particular interests or strengths. Alongside their practical studies, students can carry out state-of-the-art research. On-campus interactions between students extend from the undergraduate to graduate levels and span all specialty fields and generations. The university comes together with enthusiasm to celebrate various events like the annual Chofu Festival. Club activities are also popular at UEC, and UEC students earn numerous honors in competitions and other events. UEC celebrates its 100th anniversary in 2018, a year that will also mark the completion of UEC Port, the university's new campus. The new campus includes a facility for industry-academia joint research, the UEC Alliance Center, as well as a student dormitory and Centennial Anniversary Hall. UEC ranks as one of the world's top research universities in computer science, robotics, optical engineering, and other vital fields. The university is consistently the focus of stellar evaluations. For example, UEC was one of just 19 institutes chosen from among Japan's 770 universities to receive support under the program for promoting the enhancement of research universities by the Japanese government. The university also conducts extensive research under the Japanese government's Society 5.0 vision, working in artificial intelligence, big data analysis, cybersecurity, and other rapidly expanding realms. UEC continues to make great strides in frontline research fields, thanks to support meant to strengthen Japan's research power. For a century, this university has consistently been at the forefront of developing creative technologies for the future. That is what the University of Electrocommunications
in Japan
is all
and
about.
specialize in science and technology. You can find there are the fields you must be interested in, such as informatics, computer science, mechatronics, optoelectronics, and other common fields in the engineering. And also you can study the applied sciences in our university. There are one undergraduate and one graduate school in UEC Tokyo. This semester, we have about 260 international students in the undergraduate and graduate schools. More than 75% of our international students are in the graduate school and studying in their research laboratories. Schools of Informatics and Engineering, that is an undergraduate school, had 3 clusters, cluster 1, 2, and 3. And Graduate School of Informatics and Engineering provide 2-year master's and 3-year doctoral programs. It consists of the 4 departments and 1 extra doctoral program. Each cluster or department, there are a few educational programs. This grouping shows the educational programs in the undergraduate school. Cluster 1, that is of informatics and computer engineering, has 4 educational programs. Cluster 2, that is of emerging multi-interdisciplinary engineering, has 5 educational programs. And cluster 3 of the fundamental science and engineering has 5 educational programs. This shows the grouping of the educational programs in 4 departments in the graduate school. Department of Informatics, Department of Computer and Network Engineering, Department of Mechanical and Intelligent System Engineering, and the Department of Engineering Science. In addition, there is a joint doctoral program is subsidiary to those 4 departments for research fields. There are more than 260 research labs in 4 departments, 4 departments with 14 educational programs. sorry. Sorry, I have to go back. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is a diagram of the educational system. Horizontal axis shows the year of grade, and the 3 clusters in the undergraduate school and 4 departments in the graduate school are connected with the 14 educational programs. And by now, you might wonder which educational program matches with your interest. This table is too small to see here, but please find this table in our brochure. This describes the matching between the educational programs and the study or research keywords, so that you are able to figure out which educational program or clusters or departments is matched with your study interest. Many of you might ask us, what is the characteristics of your university? As a faculty member, I can tell you again that we provide a broad range of research field in science and technology, as well as we provide students, including the international students, to have a global education and research opportunities. I'd like to introduce what our international students feel happy about studying at the UEC. This is not a result of the survey, but it is what we hear from the many of international students. Firstly, the most of them are very happy with our convenient location in the suburb of Tokyo. And the next is about the study environment. Many of undergraduates complained about their busyness with their homework, but it is somewhat because of their language toughness, and they can learn the technical Japanese through studying their subjects. And most of the graduate students spend the fruitful time to focus on their research work in their own laboratories. And many of our international students think that the job hunting support and the employment rate are also fascinating at the UEC Tokyo. This shows a result of the new graduate's career path of the international student graduated in academic year 2020. Even if it was the first COVID-19 pandemic year, these data shows the same tendencies as the pre-COVID-19 years. That means that nearly half of the graduates move up to our graduate school, and nearly 70% of the master program graduates are able to find their technical job in Japan. More than half of the doctoral courses graduate, the PhD holders are able to find their job in Japan too. And more than half of the doctoral course graduates could find a postdoctoral position in and out of Japan. Now go to the next topic about the admission process. And the academic admission paths depend on the programs you want to enroll and or the financial supports. Before talking about the admission process at UEC, I'd like to reply to the most question from the prospective students. Do UEC have any program provided in English, so-called the English program? And I'm sorry that I have to say we have no certain English programs at the UEC. For enrollment in our undergraduate school, N2 level or higher of JLPT may be necessary to study all mandatory subjects. Even if you received the scholarship from a mixed or government, you probably study Japanese language in the preliminary course. For enrollment in a graduate school, never worry about the English course. I'm sorry, never worry about the language barrier, as long as you have a somewhat challenging minds, because there are many subject courses which are provided in Japanese with English materials, and the research work or lab work can be carried out in English, depending on the research supervisor though. So I'm sorry we have no English program, but we have many students who don't speak or read or write Japanese when they are enrolled. So back to the admissions processes. Depending on to be enrolled program and financial support, there are a few paths for admission. To summarize them, I guess there are two main selections, taking paper examination or no examination. If you have studied Japanese well and are able to afford to the privately financed students, you can choose to take the general admission. In the general admission of the undergraduate and the master's programs, you have to take the regular paper examination, which is printed in Japanese language. So we have to tell you that you need to read and write the Japanese language to take the regular examination. On the other hand, the following students have no examination or have just oral examination either in English or Japanese. One, the students sponsored by the Japanese government, such as a mixed or JICA program. Two is an applicant for master's program who has experience to work in the technical fields more than 1 year, and all applicants for the doctoral program. So I guess most of you are interested in the scholarship program without any examination in Japanese language. So today I'm just introducing the special admission of graduate school in MEX-sponsored program, in which the UEC examines and recommends the candidate to the mixed, so-called UEC Mixed Programs. For the general admission, you can find the information in the English brochure, whose cover is like this. UEC Mixed Programs is for the students who are being enrolled in either in master course or doctoral program, master's or doctoral programs. Currently, we have 2 time-limited special frames and 1 general frame running. In special frames, we have 4 seats for the master's program and 12 seats for doctoral program for the enrollment in October 2022. This number, 4 plus 12 equal 16. 16 seats are fixed. And we also have the general frame, but the number of the seat is varied every year. So, well, 1 or 2. So to apply for the UEC Mixed Programs, at first you have to find your future supervisor at UEC and discuss well about your research plan in order to prepare for the application and interview instead of the typical examination. The deadline of the academic year 2021 application will be by mid-February 2022. In fact, the detail has not determined yet, And we are also having the guidance session for this programs, maybe in this month, I mean, late of November or early December. So if you are interested in the Uec Mixed Programs, please leave a note in our inquiry form linked from this portal site. And also I want to mention about how to find your future supervisor at the UEC. Again, you have to go to find the website from the portal site. We have the researchers, I mean the faculty members search site, and we have the research fields list, and also you can watch the video on the video UEC. They all are linked from the portal site. So I guess that's all for today, and I apologize for the rushing today. Again, if you are interested in the scholarship program or have any questions, fill out the inquiry form. This one, yes, this one, the bottom one. And or quick question, please type in the chat window, and I'm happy to reply as much as possible. And thank you so much for the attention, and have a great day.
Thank you, Professor, for such a comprehensive presentation. So you have covered all the aspects, starting from the programs available to the scholarships and everything. So thank you once again. We can look into the Q&A portal. Shall I pick some questions for you?
Yes.
So we have talked about various programs in UAC, but what about the MBBS programs? Are you aware of any MBBS programs? Medicine programs?
Medicine program. I'm sorry, you're talking about medicine. Student can medicine. I'm sorry, we do not have a medicine, but we do have the if you want to study some kind of mixture between medicine and informatics. We have the professor designing the new medicines in the I think the biotechnology field.
Yes, thank you, Professor. And also the application process. You have mentioned a timeline for the application process, and the deadline is October 22nd, right?
For the mixed program, yes, and the general admission for the master's course, we have only one time. We have the examination only in August, but the PhD program you have 2 times for application, the summertime and winter time. In August, and admission. I'm sorry, the examination is in August and February.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. So when does the admission usually start? Like in May, August, like in what months?
July. The admission. The admission is 1 month prior. Okay. Or 2 months prior. So again, I want to emphasize the PhD program. You have no problem if you don't speak Japanese. The most important is the contacting with your future supervisor.
Yes, thank you, Professor. And there's another question on: should the candidate come to the foreign country to take the exam? Should he come to Japan to take the exam? Or
if you take the paper, I mean the regular examination for undergraduate and master course, you have to come to our campus. But for the PhD course, I mean the doctoral course, just for the oral examination. So we can arrange for the Zoom interview.
Okay, so the university name says that University of Electro Communications. So are the courses only related to electronics and communications?
To be honest, some professors, you might know that informatics is sometimes a little bit closer to the social studies. So if you are interested in the programming, if you are interested in the information sciences, I think you can, so you have studied the economics and you have studied the social technology or educational studies. but you want to extend, if you want to broaden your field to using the computer science or the informatics, yeah, you can apply to graduate school.
Yes, thank you, Professor. I think the main, let's not go with the name, because when we look at the programs list, we have various programs in computer sciences, mechanical engineering, and even business administration. So yes, thank you,
yeah,
Professor.
basically you said, but yeah, some students, of course, if you are interested in the computer science, or if you are interested in the informatics.
Yes, and let's take one last question. So is there any university accommodation in the campus, like the dormitories or?
Yes, we have in the video we mentioned about the UEC port. That is a new student dorm, and actually new student dorm is expensive, but we also have the older typical Japanese dormitory on site, on campus, in campus. So actually we have 3 dormitory right now.
Yes, and trust me, when they say old dormitories, they are not as old as they mentioned. They are like very comfortable and very comforting too. And thank you, Professor, once again for joining us today and for presenting us the University of Electrocommunications. I hope students noted on all the details and would contact the representatives soon. So thank you once again for joining us today. So let us proceed with the agenda slide. I'll share my agenda slide.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we are done with the University of Electrocommunication, and so next we have Shimane University. So this university is located in the Shimane Prefecture in the countryside of Japan, and it's established as a national university in 1949. Globalization is paramount, and since 2018, new partnerships have been undertaken, including with UNESCO and the University of Oxford, culminating in a specialty steel research center. Overseas student enrollment has increased recently due to globalization, especially for graduate schools, such as the Graduate School of Natural Science and Technology, which is offered in English. The university also provides job hunting support to international students, which caters to diverse job opportunity preferences. There is also aid for large-scale companies that represent Japan. In addition to the traditional industries, such as Japanese tea companies, Shimane University is deeply involved in SDGs, working to solve issues in Japan and globally. So the university is a comprehensive institution and can meet the diverse research needs of international students. So today we are joined by Professor Hemant from the university to provide us more information and assist with the admission process.
Thank you very much. Can I now share my screen?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes. Okay, I think it's all set up, and if I'm audible, then I'll just start. Thank you first very much to the University of Tokyo India office for giving us this opportunity to introduce Shimane University. I am Hemant Nutalapati. I'm an assistant professor in Faculty of Life and Environmental Sciences. As you see, we are a national university, and I would like to just give you a brief introduction to our university. So what I want to talk for the next 20 minutes is that first let me introduce myself, and usually, why am I talking today, and also what Shimane University can offer, and that is especially through my lens. So there are lots of advantages, I think, and I will also introduce briefly about the kind of programs that we offer for international students at both undergraduate and graduate level, and also I'll walk you through the admission process, step by step, and also I hope I can give you some pieces of information about student life. I have never been a student here, but I do understand what is happening here. And also we do a lot of support for international students, and I'll just summarize with some key takeaways. So, well, for those of you who are not able to see me through the video for bandwidth issues or whatever, this is me. I am Hemant, and I'm originally from India. Perhaps you already understood that could be one reason why I'm talking today. That's true, but it's more than that. Anyways, this is the map of India, and I'm originally coming from south part of India. It's Chennai. I was born, brought up here, and I moved to Hyderabad for my bachelor course. I did from Osmania University. And then I went to Banaras Hindu University in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, in North India. And now for people who, of course, know India, they know that it's very different. Languages are different, cultures are different, food is different, and so on. People are different, in a sense, it's a mini world. So anyways, I did my master's here. And like most of the students who are now listening to this webinar, I also wanted to go to the East, but not to the West, okay? Well, I'm not criticizing anybody here. That's just my choice. So my first choice was to actually go to Japan. So I applied to some professors in Japan, and technically, that professor is a very big professor in University of Tokyo at the time, and he was supposed to be retiring, so he couldn't take me as a student there. However, he was simultaneously starting a new laboratory in Taiwan. So, see, as long as I'm able to work with him, I just went to Taiwan to study. So I'm already giving you the answer why I went to Taiwan. Okay, it was not my choice, my professor's choice. But anyways, even though I was in Taiwan for a long time, I was working with Japanese supervisor, right? And also I did a postdoc there, and then eventually I moved to Japan to start working in Shimane University in 2014. Anyway, that is just about me. And what I do is actually, my research interests are spectroscopy, especially microscopy and imaging using vibration technique, especially Raman spectroscopy. Raman is probably all the Indians listening to this probably know Sir C.V. Raman. It is based on Raman scattering or inelastic scattering of light. That's exactly what I do. However, we apply that technique not to physics or something. Of course, we can apply it to any kind of field, but I'm primarily using it for biology and medicine, where I look at single cell label-free biology, where, for example, here you can see each cell without any labels, without fluorescence, nothing, but we can actually get molecular information. Also, we do Raman diagnostics. For example, here we are trying to distinguish normal or cancer cells without actually treating anything. Just shining some light on it and then able to see the difference, especially using the molecular information that we get. But the core of this is also we are able to achieve it by actually the application of machine learning, especially artificial intelligence, using neural networks and so on. So anyways, this is my basic research interest. And if any of you are interested in research in my field, for example, here, you can always contact me. And that's all I'm going to talk about myself today. Okay. So the reason why I think my university asked me to talk to you guys today is that I have lived in different parts of India. I've been other Eastern countries. I've been a foreign student. I've been working in Japan, and I have experienced different cultures, and I also speak several languages. So honestly, probably 10, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, perhaps, I don't remember exactly, but I have been in your shoes. I have had several questions as to what will happen, what happens to food, what happens to life, what happens if I get homesick, all these kind of things, right? But then I have already crossed all those things, and I'm right now here. So probably even before you ask several questions, I can relate to most of the questions that you're asking in the chat box. So I hope I designed this, keeping all those kind of questions in mind when I was a student. So let's see if it really answers any of your questions. So first, let me tell you where we are located. This is a map of Japan. So you see Tokyo is here, Osaka, Kyoto is here, but actually we are here in the western part of Japan. So Shimane. Shimane is, we call it as a prefecture. What prefecture is basically a state, Shimane state. And if you zoom up the Shimane state, it's like this, and we have a long coastline here. So just keep that in mind. I'll come back to that later. And also we have a couple of large lakes here, and the city is surrounded here. Matsue is the capital city of Shimane. And also there is a large city there, which I'll also come very quickly. So the main point I wanted to actually tell you is that while most of the universities we have today's webinar boasts of being in the heart of the city, we boast of being away from the cities. Okay, both are good, but I like this place. Anyways, I had to do some PR for myself, so I live here. This is a very least populated place. Out of this whole land, I mean, only 7 lakh people are living in the state. Please mind you, and we are the second least populated in Japan. Well, that is probably negative for the government, but it's good for me. I'm enjoying life here. It's very peaceful, quiet, and on top of it, there are several rich cultural heritages here. Especially, for example, we have UNESCO World Heritage Silver Mine. Now we also have the moderator actually kindly introduced about some steel techniques. So this is the birthplace of something called Tatara, which is called iron manufacturing in Japan, which dates back thousands of years. So it is still being continued here, and we also have a very large research center in our university, which I will also talk about in a few minutes. We also boast of having #1 Japanese garden for the last 15 years. So Japanese are very kind of crazy about having beautiful gardens, and we are always proud to say that we have the #1 gardens in Japan. Well, you can always, this is all very reachable. You can always, when you are a student here, if you are a student here, you can always go to these places. Anyways, we also have a national treasure castle. There are only 5, and out of that, we have one in Matsue. And there's another national treasure, which is Izumo Taisha. It's a shrine. And this is probably, we can say, first or second most, or the top 1, 2 in whole of Japan, considered important shrine in Japan. So with, and this is also sometimes thought of as the birthplace of Japanese culture and so on. Anyways, that's the tale. But the point here I'm trying to make is that this environment is really, really peaceful. Oh, of course, I forgot there is a small cluster of islands that's called Oki Islands, which is also UNESCO Global Geopark. So considering all these, what we can tell you, well, let's see where the campus locations are. We have 2 campuses. One is called as Matsue campus, as the main campus. We have all these faculties that we will talk about, except Faculty of Medicine. We do have Faculty of Medicine in our university, just to be clear. And also in Izumo campus, this, Faculty of Medicine and Hospital. Okay, so all the rest are here in Matsue. And I would definitely recommend and say that this is a very good environment for education and research. Personally, I've been doing research for many years now, and I can vouch for that. Anyways, then let's see. This is very clear target towards South Asia for us. So I'm going to make this presentation easy for those people that are attending webinars today. And from the moderator, I understand that probably 60–70% of students are from India, and probably the rest are coming from Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and so on. Anyways, first let me address the elephant in the room. That's India. So Shimane University has very strong relationship with India. Well, I'm here already, so that's proof for that. But anyways, for you to convince you, I'm showing that this is the president of the university, Professor Hattori, and this is the Indian ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Sanjay Kumar Verma. So he visited probably just before COVID. Anyways, and there is a very strong interest at the very high level and the management level. But and also I said I am working on Raman spectroscopy. In fact, there is a Professor Yamamoto. He actually established the Raman Center in Japan. So you would be surprised, like there's a Raman Center in Japan. Well, yes, do. And I work here, and these are laboratory built Raman microscopes. So I actually built it myself. We just buy all these parts and optics and so on, and we just put everything together, and this is exciting. Of course, it's not so easy, but it's exciting. Anyways, we also have very strong collaboration with many Indian universities, including IITs and BHU. For example, here, because as I said, I was an alumni of BHU, so I am an alumni. Sorry, I am an alumni of BHU. So, anyways, we have received students from BHU to also get some training in spectroscopy imaging. Wow, I am like, Anyways, I really, not only I mean the whole university really welcomes Indian students. And also, what about interest from our side? Our president also visited India. In fact, we have even started a joint center for Japanese language in Cochin University in Kerala, and through that we also actually introduced cricket because well, Indians love cricket, and we have to let Japanese know that there is this cricket. And on top of it, our university is also very proactive in actually hosting people through the help of ICCR, Cultural Relations, and also Embassy and Consulate here to show all these kind of traditional art forms in Shimane University. This was about introduction of Kalaripayattu, and this is about Bharatanatyam, and so on. So anyways, I think this is now pretty clear. Let's go and address what happens to other people, right? So I must tell you, the main reason I'm talking more about Indian is because we do not have so many Indian students, to be honest. However, we already have large network of like alumni networks of other South Asian students, especially from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Nepal. Of course, we have large from several other countries, but I think these are what is restricted to this webinar. So I'm just addressing those people. So if you are one of those students who are listening to the webinar from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, or Nepal, please feel comfortable. You already have lots of seniors in your country, probably, who are also working in the country after studying Shimane University. We'll always be able to hook you up to them so that you can also learn more. Of course, in addition to whatever questions you have to ask us, we are always open. So please feel comfortable. That's it. And in addition to that, we actually use cricket as a tool. For all the South Asians, whoever loves cricket, that's fine. No worries. We just go to even local schools and introduce cricket, right? So that is how we can actually promote a good relationship between South Asian students and the local community. So here you cannot escape living a local life. That's my point. You cannot, be a city boy here, right? Or a girl, whatever. You have to belong, and that is inevitable. And I'm sure you'll enjoy that. So we welcome all South Asian students who are listening to this webinar today. Anyways, what are the unique aspects of initiative? So as the moderator already mentioned, we are particularly specific about including SDGs in our the principles into our management strategy, into our education, research, and so on, so that we can actually strengthen cooperation with with the region and with globally. So we also have Next in Tatara Center, which is actually the heart of research center for advanced metal materials. So there are lots of there's a cluster of industries which are working in a very niche areas like aerodynamic, aero parts, and so on, which are even many of the large aircraft manufacturers actually get those parts from this region. So that's there. And on top of it, I told you that we have very long coastline and we have lakes and rivers, so on. So automatically we are kind of estuary. And estuary is, a very special environment. So we have this very unique center actually looking at conservation of the estuaries and lagoons, and also how to make the best use of it economically in a sustainable way. So these are like very important points I want to mention. But we have several other research centers. Well, Raman Center is of course here, and so many others. In all kinds of fields. So if it's theoretical physics, it's also in nanotechnology. We have also in health, infectious disease, and so on. So you can probably, I hope, find a center that you're interested in if you are looking at graduate programs or research programs. Well, what programs do we offer? We offer, of course, undergraduate program and also graduate school. And what are the Japanese language requirements? If you're going to really talk about general undergraduate program, forget it. I will not say forget it. If you are already very highly qualified with N2 or above, then you can probably consider that. Otherwise, one very important thing that I wanted to mention is that I actually forgot. There's only one bilingual program at the undergraduate level where even students with just N4 level are eligible to apply for that program. And I think it's a wonderful program. I'll also talk about it in a bit. And on top of it, if you are interested in graduate school, especially for master's or PhD, you do not really have to worry about any of the Japanese language. Of course, you can come here and learn, but the point is, in order to get admission, you don't have to really worry about it at all. Well, let's talk about the undergraduate program. We have several of these, but the main point is that most of them will actually require you to have high level of Japanese language ability. However, let's just talk about that actually suits Indian students and South Asian students. That is a bilingual course for students who are in their +2 or +1, +2. Many students are actually studying Japanese, and even at N4 level, I think it's very easy to actually clear N4 level while you are in India or in your other countries. So then you can actually apply for this program as an international student. So there are all sorts of things. For example, engineering, mechanical, electrical, electronic, or IT, information and data science, and so on. Of course, natural sciences like chemistry, pure earth sciences, and physics, and so on are also available. So the point is that it is a bilingual course. All sorts of things that actually Indian students are looking for is actually available. However, you need at least N4 to enter this course. And as you see, this is a sample curriculum. The first 1 year probably is going to be very, very all in English. In the second year, there'll be some introduction to Japanese courses, like general courses. However, in the first 2 years, you're going to intensively also study Japanese, domain-specific Japanese, so that you can actually quickly develop your ability and get specialized courses in Japanese in the third and fourth years. So while this is true, you should not be worrying about how you're going to write exams or reports and so on, because you're not really expected to write fluently in Japanese. So you don't have to worry, because you can do it in English all. And as I said again, just N4 is enough. And then any of the English, whether it's TOEFL or IELTS, we don't care, we accept it. Of course, you should have a good score. That's fine. Well, what happens to graduate school? We have several programs, but again, the main point is that if you're into human social sciences and teacher education and so on, obviously you're going to need Japanese. Let's not worry about it. Let's just talk about natural science and technology course that can actually accept students from any background, because they are all in English. So in the case of master's program, let's say graduate school, we can have either master's or PhD. Oh, well, yeah, I'm kind of slow. anyways, I'm trying to give as much information as possible, and I know I'm like blasting like anything, but anyways, in the case of master course, we have science and engineering. Again, I'm just telling you very simply, we have either natural science like physics, chemistry, maths, biology in one of these, or in terms of engineering, we have information design, there is IT, data science, mechanical, electrical, electronics engineering. So I think it more or less covers pure basic sciences. If we have already bachelor course in engineering, BTech, you are eligible in any of these courses. And if you also have, for example, bachelor's in sciences, that's also fine. You can also enter pure sciences like chemistry, biology, and so on. That is the master course. How about doctoral program? It's very, very similar. We also have for the doctoral program. So you don't really have to worry. It's all the same, more or less the same. The name is different. Probably it's science and engineering, natural science and technology, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You are eligible depending on your background to one of these courses. Well, how do we get admitted? Well, there is entrance examination and so on. Let me just walk you through. If you are looking at the undergraduate program, inevitably you have to pass the EJU, examination for Japanese university, admission for international students, and the schedule is like this. Probably there are 2 times, and anyways, you can figure that out. And if you need more information, we can talk about the details later. And as far as the graduate school is concerned, we have 2 enrollments. April enrollment, this is the usual enrollment that is normal academic year in Japan. It usually starts in April and ends in March. So that is the first semester we have, and second semester actually starts in October. So for master course, you can either enter in April or October, depending on when you're going to graduate. And for April enrollment, you can find things like that. So right now, especially the applications are open for the next April intake. For example, say April 2022. But I think there's not much time. But if you really already have some idea of what you want to do, you can, I think, still try to rush. I don't know, but yeah, you can try. Anyways, you can look at these data later. The main point is that you must first contact a professor. How do you contact a professor? Don't worry, just go to this application. Already, one of my colleagues has shared the database of professors. You can also look into that. Otherwise, simply, for example, if you're looking for somebody who's doing Raman spectroscopy in Shimane, all you need to do is just go Google Raman Shimane University. Keep Shimane University, type any other keyword you want. Probably you get some papers, you get in there, you find the names, look at the star author, who's the star author. If you belong to Shimane University, just write it. That's simple as that. And then, of course, it depends on like what kind of work you want to do. If you already have that in mind, you can discuss and negotiate with your professor, and then see whether it's possible to actually execute the plan here. And if he agrees, then that's it. We can also get the application data from this QR code. Anyways, the link is also here, and I also shared that in the box. And what is the tuition fee? Tuition fee is a one-time admission fee. It's about 2.8 lakh yen. And the tuition fee per year is 5.25 lakhs, whatever. So this is actually a national university. So it's very, very, very affordable. And I think it's pretty cheap. Even if you are looking at the private universities in India, it's probably higher than this. So anyway, on top of it, we also give very generous tuition exemption based on your financial needs. Well, if you already are rich, you better pay. But if you really need any support, I think as there is need, there is then we will be able to actually give either full or half exemption. And that's only for graduate school, not for undergraduate school. In addition to that, I completely forgot to add that there is a one-time admission fee of 30,000 yen. So that's fine, but still, I better be clear about that. Anyways, there's an affordable education, I guess. On top of it, you have lots and lots of scholarships. People are always talking about scholarships. You can actually take a screenshot of this, or I'm going to even share this later. This is just to show you that there are many different kinds of scholarships that depends on what you want to do, where you want to do, what's your background, and so many things. So it's not like we cannot pick and choose explain each one of them. The point is there are so many scholarships out there. You just go seek information based using these QR codes. And what is the student life like, and what kind of support do we offer actually? Well, let me go into that. First, the point is the most important thing is about job hunting. For example, if you are good at Japanese already and you are able to get say N2 or over N2, then there are some special programs that can be recommended for you. Well, that is one. But also we have very general support where students want to get information about job hunting, or we also conduct a lot of seminars, webinars, and whatever. Right now because COVID, we have a lot of counseling sessions, internship, and also we match with the local companies here so that you can do internship and so on. So this is like kind of serving you on the plate. And also international students have very wonderful environment to actually obtain information. right? That information is gold. So, well, you get information. That's it. And what kind of other facilities we have? We do support, because we are kind of regional university. There is no way we need to really also keep in mind that Japanese ability is kind of important to live comfortably. So we give free classes at all kinds of levels, whether you are at the beginner level or the advanced level, doesn't matter. You can always get these free courses and upskill yourself. And we also, in addition to that, we have a tutor or buddy system where we actually match, especially in the initial days of your coming. You'll be matched with some Japanese students so that you can really make friendships, new friendships, but also at the same time get support for your daily life and language and so on. We have dormitories. We have dormitories dedicated for international students, but it's kind of limited, so we cannot really assure anything unless at that time if there is availability, you'll get it. Otherwise, no. However, we also have other dormitories that is common for everybody, Japanese students, international students, so on, with and without kitchen and so on. So, well, you can pick and choose whatever. In addition to that, if you really you want to have more privacy, of course, you can, even if you're coming with your family, for example, when you're in PhD course, you can also apply for public housing. You can also look out for other private apartments. And the good thing is that it is not as expensive as in Tokyo or some other big city. It's very affordable, but however, the facilities are exactly the same. So you cannot imagine what kind of facilities you get with just 15,000 yen. Anyways, that's the point. It's very affordable. And we have very comprehensive support for international students in terms of, I'm just summarizing once again, but at the same time, there are several new things that we are going to also highlight, that we actually take even small things into account, because student life has to be very comfortable. For example, if somebody is in an accident, for example, you're riding a bicycle, anyways, all sorts of things can happen. You cannot imagine, but anything happens, there's no worry. There's a system in place that can actually guide you, whether you really know full Japanese or not, whatever. We will be able to assist you and make your life comfortable. And as I think with anybody, whoever comes in into Japan as a student, irrespective of whether you're into my university or some other university, you'll have to enroll into the Japanese National Health Insurance System, where 70% is being paid and 30% is only you have to pay. I think I'm already running short of time. This is the last slide. I know I can see the staff are already waiting to jump into probably stop the session. The point is that we also have lots of cultural trips, so that people can actually enjoy the local seasons and also culture, language, and so on, even food and so on. So the point is that we are student friendly, excellent environment for education and research. We have comprehensive support for all sorts of basic living. We have a good lifestyle, affordable education. We have all English graduate programs. Well, one at least bilingual undergraduate program, and the admission procedure is pretty simple. So I hope you can contact us to this. And also I have shared lots of information, and my colleague has also shared a lot of information on the chat box. If you want, you can always hit us up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor, for the comprehensive presentation. Last time we had Professor Catherine, and it was great to have you this time. And I see that most of the questions in the Q&A portal have been answered by Professor Catherine. Thank you very much. So we can just quickly take one or two questions. So you said you have done your graduation in India. So are you aware of any postdoc opportunities in the university?
In Shimane University, or
yes.
in general in Japan?
No, in Shimane University.
Yeah, there will be. Right now I don't have money to hire postdoc, to be honest. But if somebody is really interested in working in my area, of course I'll be very happy to support JSPS, being a host and apply on behalf of them if someone is interested. Well, yeah, that is one way.
Yes.
Okay.
And just in addition to that, we also ITT Hyperbad is a international exchange partner with Shimane University, so we can definitely accept postdoc students.
Thank you, Professor. And for a student who is presently in 12th standard, can he apply for undergraduate program in Shimane University?
Absolutely, it's possible. The main point here is that if the student is from India, he or she is going to actually get the results in probably, I don't know, April, May, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Until then, we do not know whether he's going to pass or fail. Of course, and God forbid, he's going to be fine, he or she. The point is that the decision has to be made, and the student has to come here on April 1st. So the best thing for that student is actually, my personal suggestion is to actually apply for, undergraduate program, right?
And so may I answer?
Yes, please, please.
So for the undergraduate program, I posted a link in the chat box. It's for the English-Japanese bilingual education course. So you would need to have the EJU, the JLPT N4, and a TOEIC, a TOEFL or IELTS score, and then you'd be able to apply. And as our professor said, you would need to be able to be here by April 1st, but because of the COVID situation right now, Japan is only slowly letting in people, the people who have been waiting the longest into Japan very slowly. So right now, whether you'd be able to be in Japan by April 1st is sort of up in the air.
Yes, that's right, Professor. Thank you for answering that. And also, are there any entrance exams for the university?
For PhD or for
graduate and undergraduate programs? So should a student clear an entrance exam?
So for the undergraduate bilingual course, you just need the 3 tests that I just mentioned, but the EJU is the main one that you would need, and you can take it in English or in Japanese. And for graduate courses, you can take an interview via Zoom, and you would need most likely a TOEFL or IELTS score as well for that.
Yes, thank you, Professor. I think we can end our presentation here, and thank you very much for supporting us with the Q&A portal. Thank you. And so let's move on. So we are almost to the end of the presentation. Let me share the agenda slide. So now we are done with the university presentations, and next we have Japan Science and Technology Agency. There are many students who are looking for the internship opportunities and the short-term programs and for studying in Japan. So Japan Science and Technology and Mr. Nishikawa is your go-to person for that. So with this, I invite Mr. Nishikawa to give his presentation.
Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. My name is Nishikawa of Japan Science and Technology Agency. Today, I'm going to introduce you to some of the one of the invitation program to Japan called Sakura Science Program. For your information, just hold on. Yeah. So, okay. This point. JST is a government agency directly under the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. We are one of the largest research funding organization. And our objectives is to promote science and technology and also human resource development in the field of science and technology. And this is the office of New Delhi office. Actually, I myself set up this office in the 2015 together with the University of Tokyo. We share the same office because the University of Tokyo also doing this recruiting activities on behalf of all the universities in Japan. This is just close to Deer Park, just north to the Deer Park, and very close to IIT Delhi, DST, and JNU, and it's a very convenient place. South Delhi, this is located. And we have several joint research programs that is going on with just for example, with India. These are the programs, for example, this one, University of Tokyo and IIT Bombay is doing this intelligent, dependable cyber physical system and so on. These projects are, I think, is finishing this year. And then this is another different type of program, SATREPS. This is, we do it together with a Japanese university research agency and plus Indian. In this time, IIT Hyderabad is this counterpart. And in Japan side, Nagoya Electric Works is doing this program. And some other projects are also just going on. And then today I'm going to show you the Sakura Science Program. This is an invitation program, so I hope you listen very closely. This is an introductory invitation program to Japan, and it is short term. That means 1 week to maximum 3 weeks invitation to Japan from your country. But actually this up to last year, this was a invitation from 41 countries, including India. But it is now, starting this year, April this year, we expanded this to all countries in the world. And also, it used to be only the natural science and engineering stream people are covered by this program. But starting this year, this program will cover humanities and also social science courses. So most of the students or researchers can be invited by this program to Japan. And this is open application program is the one which I am going to talk about. That open application means there should be receiving or host organization in Japan. They will do this program. So who is going to be the host organization? That is high schools, universities, research institutes, private companies, all these organizations in Japan, they are going to be the host organization and receive people from outside. And then this is a process. First, the receiving organizations submit the proposal to JST, and after the evaluation, and we select some of the good programs and award. And then award means this program will cover almost 100% of the expenses, that including round-trip airfare, local transportation, food and accommodations, and also even the insurance. Travel insurance is covered by this program. So the invitees can come to Japan almost free of charge. And then there are certain regulations, age-wise, 40 years and below, basically 40 years, and then 15 years. That is because we invite people from high school. High school means in your country, class 10, 11, 12 is equivalent to high school in Japan. So if you are in the class 10, you are already class 10, then you are eligible. And this is the example of the program, which is, for example, University of Tokyo. They invited the 10 computer science students from IIT, Delhi, Hyderabad, and these IITs. And this is in 2019. And they did some research, short research programs together. And then this is the Aizu University. And they also, in case they invited people from China, Taiwan, and so on. And then this is Hiroshima University. They invited 15 students from IIT, Delhi, Mumbai, BITS, Pilani, and so on. And these are the people from India. And this is a list ranking of universities in terms of the number of invitees, how many people they invited by this program. So number one is Miyazaki University. They invited over 750 people already. And Okayama University, Osaka University, Tokyo Metropolitan University, Shibaura Institute of Technology, Kyushu Institute of Technology, University of Tokyo. You know, these almost all the top universities in Japan have already experienced, have implemented this program so far. And then this is globally, total, how many people have been invited by this program? This is a number. Max 33,000, over 33,000 people have been invited for the last 6 years. This program started in the year 2014, and up to 2019, 33,000 people have been invited. And 2020, because of the COVID-19, there is nobody. And also this year, so far, nobody visited Japan by this program. So from India, for example, 2,849 people from India alone have been invited by this program. But India is somehow, I don't know why, it is number 3. China is the biggest number, over 10,000. And number 2 is Thailand. And India, compared with the population of students, it should be at least come to the number 2 or even number 1. So I hope more people from India will come to Japan by this program. And this is a list, of a number of students studying in Japan. Number 1, this is actually China, mainland China. 121, over 121 people are studying now in Japan currently. And whereas India, it comes here, only 16, nearly 1,600 people are studying in Japan. So we would like to increase the number from India. So I hope people from India will come, more and more people will come to Japan to study. And then whoever comes to Japan by this program automatically becomes a member of this alumni association. Sakura Science Club is the name of the alumni association. And for example, India, we had the first alumni meeting in the year 2018. This is the ambassador's official residence in India. And about 100 people were gathered. And he is he was the then ambassador from Japan, Mr. Hiramatsu. And our chief guest was, I'm sure you know, Professor Vijay Raghavan. He's the principal scientific officer to the government of India. He was the main guest. And that time we chose the main coordinator of the Alumni Association. That is maybe equivalent to president of the Alumni Association. Dr. Jitendra Chu, he is assistant professor of ISA Pune. He is now acting as the main coordinator of this program. So whoever is actively engaged in this kind of alumni meeting. And the second alumni meeting was held in the year 2020, in the year February, just before the COVID-19 started, pandemic started. So we are very lucky. We had this meeting at the IIT Delhi campus. And then the meeting for India was held online this May 29, 2021. And the two very prominent scientists of India who are currently doing research and teaching in Japan, Japanese university here, two top professors who got the top award from the government of India. They are the main guests for this one. And this is the center top here. He's a main coordinator, Professor Dr. Jitendra Chu, and he's the ambassador and the ambassador from India in Japan, and Mr. Miyauchi from University of Tokyo also participated in this program. And this is the one we had at Sri Lanka. February 2019, we had the first alumni meeting in Sri Lanka, in Colombo. This is I'm here. And this is, we have also alumni in Tokyo, in Japan. So we had also meeting, Japan alumni meeting also held, this is online. And so for the listeners, for the audience today, if you are a student, most important thing for you, if you want to come to Japan, this is an institution to institute, that is a school to school or university to university program. So sending organization, that is your school or your university, they have to have a tie-up with the Japanese receiving organization in Japan. So you have to find the partner in Japan, because the host organization, receiving organization, they will apply for this program. And we would pay the expenses to the receiving organization. So most important thing is for you is to find the host organizations in Japan. And then on top of that, because we cannot invite people for the last couple of years, one year and so. So we are now having this online university visit program. So we have done this many times already. For example, first one started in December last year, starting with Tokyo Institute of Technology, University of Tokyo, Nagoya University, and then Tsukuba University, Kyoto University, Kyushu University, and also Yokohama National University, Shibabara Institute of Technology. These are already finished, and you can find the video, YouTube video online. So if you want to watch what was done on that program, you can see. And then next program is expected on November 20. This Ochanomizu University, one of the top women's university in Japan. So this is, you can also enter, log in from here. So anyone can participate, and we are going to have more of this kind of program. So if you are interested in those universities, please log in. And then, So please remember these three words: Sakura Science Program, and also Sakura Science High School Online University Program. Because this online university program, visit program, is mainly meant for high school students. But of course, university student, it is beneficiary for the university student as well, because they will also speak about their graduate schools courses, and also Sakura Science Club. This you can search the website or these words, and then you get all the information in English. Sakura Science Program, Sakura Science Online University Visit Program, and also Sakura Science Club. So I hope to see you sometime soon by this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nishikawa, for your presentation. It's always a pleasure to have you. So we can move on with the Q&A session. So so Sakura Science Program, does it help students with the exchange programs too?
What do you mean, exchange program?
So usually student exchange programs are for a semester long. So can they apply for Sakura Science Program?
This one is only for the 1 week or for maximum 3 weeks. So this is introductory. So you experience Japan for short visit to Japan, and then after that, if you like to come to Japan, then you can start the actual exchange program together with your partner schools or partner universities in Japan. Okay. So please consider that this is just an introductory course.
Okay? Yes. Thank you, Professor. And also, is it required to know Japanese to apply for this program?
If you speak English, that's all. So I think most of the Indian people have no problem.
Yes. And are there any special documents which have to be submitted?
Actually, this program application is made by the Japanese schools or Japanese universities. So you can only speak to a Japanese partner, through your school or your university. So whatever the document is needed, it comes by the receiving organizations.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Nishikawa. I think we can almost all the questions are answered, so we can end our session here. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you
for being here. And yes, so that brings us to almost the end of the session. And thank you all for joining us today. And I hope today's webinar was very useful and productive. And I hope to see some of you in Japan very soon. And this is the link for the upcoming QR code. So you can scan this QR code for the upcoming webinars. And please feel free to email us at the India office, Utokyo India office. So we are here to assist you with studying in Japan. So thank you once again for attending the webinar.